For centuries, the crack of gunpowder and the roar of cannons have echoed through history, reshaping battlefields, empires, and the very fabric of society. The invention of firearms fundamentally altered the course of human conflict and technological development. But what if that pivotal moment never occurred? Imagine a world where the alchemists of ancient China never stumbled upon the explosive mixture of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. Or perhaps they did, but the technology to harness its power in handheld weapons simply never materialized. How would history unfold without the gun? Without firearms, the evolution of warfare would look dramatically different. The dominance of cavalry might have persisted far longer, their charges unchecked by massed musket fire. Infantry would rely on the enduring power of the spear, sword, axe, and pike. Armor, which began to decline in effectiveness against gunpowder weapons, would likely continue its development. We might see even more sophisticated plate armor, perhaps incorporating new materials or designs to counter increasingly refined melee weapons and archery. Siege warfare would remain reliant on catapults, trebuchets, and battering rams, pushing the limits of mechanical force rather than explosive power. Fortifications would be designed to withstand physical assault and bombardment from stone, not shot and shell. The age of exploration was heavily influenced by the technological disparity between European powers, armed with firearms, and many indigenous populations. Without guns, the conquest of the Americas, Africa, and Asia might have been a far slower, more difficult, and perhaps less complete process. Naval warfare would remain a contest of ramming, boarding, and projectile weapons like ballistae and catapults. The iconic broadsides of cannon fire that defined centuries of sea power would be absent. Control of the seas would depend on different tactics and ship designs. The absence of firearms would also ripple through social and political structures. The rise of centralized states, often facilitated by their ability to equip and field large armies with standardized weapons, might have taken a different path. Feudal structures, where armored knights held significant military power, could have endured longer. Revolutions and uprisings would be fought with blades, bows, and improvised weapons. The ability of a small group to challenge a larger, established power using the equalizer of firearms would be gone. Personal defense and law enforcement would rely on traditional close-quarters weapons. Where would military innovation have turned instead? Perhaps we would see greater investment in metallurgy for stronger armor and sharper blades. Mechanical weapons, like repeating crossbows or more powerful siege engines, might have been perfected. The focus could have shifted entirely away from projectile weapons towards other forms of energy or force. This thought experiment reveals how deeply intertwined the invention of firearms is with the course of human history. From the tactics of war to the shape of nations and the balance of power, the presence of the gun has been a constant, transformative force. Its absence would create a cascade of changes, leading to a world we can only begin to imagine.